All right, so you guys wanted to explore New York City, and honestly, who wouldn't?
Yeah, it's one of those places that everyone has some kind of image of.
Exactly. I mean, iconic global hub that comes to mind instantly for so many.
Definitely. And we've got this incredible document here.
It's amazing how much they managed to pack in there.
Super detailed, tons of information.
So our mission is to try and pull out the most fascinating insights.
Yeah, and try to give you a real sense of what makes New York so distinctive.
Right, because anyone can rattle off a list of landmarks.
Oh, yeah, but what's the story behind them? What makes them tick?
Okay, so let's jump right in.
Right.
New York, it didn't just appear overnight in its current form.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Our sources remind us it all began as a Dutch settlement.
New Amsterdam?
New Amsterdam, yeah, all the way back in 1624.
That's wild when you think about it.
It really is kind of a shift in image, right?
Totally. It's more than just a name change, though.
Oh, how so?
Well, that Dutch origin laid some really interesting groundwork.
Like what kinds of things?
Well, for instance, their early emphasis on trade and tolerance
Interesting.
created a surprisingly diverse environment in those early colonial times,
Huh.
which you could argue set a precedent for the city's later role.
As a global melting pot.
Precisely. And you can even see remnants of the original street grid.
Really?
Yeah, in Lower Manhattan, it's a subtle echo of that Dutch past.
I never would have thought about that.
Yeah, it's easy to overlook, but it's there.
Wow, that's a great point.
And it's something that continues to this day.
That makes sense.
The diversity.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of things that continue,
What's that?
New York, it's a city of nicknames.
Oh, yeah, some of the most famous.
We've got the Big Apple
The city that never sleeps.
and the slightly more mysterious Gotham.
What's the story behind those?
That's what we're here to uncover.
All right, let's dig in.
So the Big Apple,
That one has a wonderfully unexpected origin.
really, tell me more.
Well, it actually gained popularity in the early 20th century,
Okay,
tied to the world of horse racing, believe it or not.
horse racing.
Yeah, there was this journalist who used it to refer to New York as the ultimate prize, the place where the big money was, you know.
Oh, I see.
And it evolved from that specific sporting context.
To represent the city's overall allure.
Yeah, exactly. It's the center of everything.
The place to be.
Right. And then you've got the city that never sleeps.
That was pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it speaks to that round-the-clock activity.
Which we'll definitely explore in more detail later.
Oh, we will.
And Gotham.
Now, that one comes from author Washington Irving.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he used it as a sort of satirical stand-in for New York in the
Interesting.
early 1800s, playing on a folktale about the foolishness of the people of Gotham.
So it wasn't originally a compliment?
Not exactly, but it's interesting how it's stuck.
Yeah, and it's often used in an all-romantic or even edgy way now.
It has taken on a life of its own.
It really has.
Okay, so we've covered the nicknames. What's next?
Well, when you think of New
And
York,
what comes to...
the 5 boroughs.
Of course, it's not just Manhattan.
Right, each one has its own distinct character.
Absolutely.
So what makes each borough unique?
All right, so Manhattan is undeniably the economic and cultural engine.
Yeah, Wall Street, the theater district,
All of that, but then you have Brooklyn.
which